see.
Stand there.
Hey, let man.
He'll show you. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Hi, I'm Ajit. This is Vivalina, and we are going to take you through what we have here. So, may I know briefly what background you come from? Biology, mathematics?
School.
People with brains. That's a good answer. So, what you have here are 4 types of brains here. So, what do you think this is? You must have seen enough pictures of this. It's a human, right? And then you have something which is smaller. Monkey, right? And these 2 brains actually look very similar, but just differ in size. What do you think these could be?
Mouse.
Which one would be a mouse? Which one would be that?
Little bigger than that. This is the mouse.
No, this is the rat. This is the mouse. The mouse is smaller actually. Okay. Right. So, what? Except for the size, what are the differences we observe between these different brains that I just showed? Yeah.
Complexity.
Just pick it up again. Yeah.
Cortex.
Anything else that you can possibly see which is different between these 4 brains?
The color and multiple.
The colors are because of the different
Multiple folds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you fold up something, what will happen? Yeah, if it increases surface area, you can pack more if you crumple up something. So that's what precisely has happened as evolution has driven animals to evolve further. So you have more and more mass being packed into smaller and smaller volume. There is an increase in volume, but still you can pack much more if it is folded than if it was fairly low. So this condition of the smoothing of the brain is called lissencephaly. Okay, so the flattening of the brain is called lissencephaly. It happens in rare conditions to human beings also, and people who typically have lissencephaly do not actually live long enough, and they have very poor mental ability. They suffer from lots of dysfunction, and they die. Then you have seen that the size is also much bigger, right? So if you did not have this much size, what would happen? Less intelligence. Intelligence is actually a very, very higher order construct. Basically your abilities will be limited, right? You won't have as many neurons or cells to control functions that typically are controlled in regular human beings.
So we have much larger areas.
Right.
Because of the increased surface area and which can be dedicated for your functions, which you don't think that a mouse, but is very important.
Right. So that condition where some humans develop such like abnormalities where the brain does not grow as much, you have a condition called microcephaly. Micro is small, cephaly is the brain. Okay?
Small brain.
Right.
So rats and mice don't have to give GATE exam, IIT's exam.
No, they don't need to actually. Yeah, they are pretty much happy. We take care of their food. We take care of their life.
So easy.
Yeah. We have to GATE exam. Yeah. Right. Okay. So, what do you think? How does the brain exist inside our skull? Floating, right. Why would you want a floating brain?
Otherwise we have to wear
Any
helmets.
trauma that happens, if it is fixed to any structure, it will directly impact the brain, right? So you need it to be in a slightly cushioned environment. So it's floating in a liquid, which is the CSF. But it needs to be suspended by something. It can't just be freely floating. There has to be some amount of attachment. So that's
What is the CSF?
the cerebrospinal fluid. Okay. It nourishes as well as protects the brain. Right. So this piece of tissue that you see is typically what attaches the brain to the rest of the skull. So this is called the dura mater. Okay. And below that you have it's part of the meningeal system of the brain. Okay. And below that you have another set of meninges. What you see, there's a small film on the brain here. Yeah, it's the pia mater along with the arachnoid. The arachnoid and pia mater cannot be really separated very well. Okay? Right. So, how do you think this brain will be placed inside the skull? This way, this way. Which way do you think? Yeah, so if I am facing this way, my brain is actually facing this way. So this is the front. This is the rostral portion. towards the mouth. This is the caudal portion towards the tail. We don't have tails, but animals do. Lower animals do. So that's where this comes from. So this is the lateral portion. This is the medial portion. Okay, and you need to know this geography if you are going to try to talk to other people about where a structure is located or which structure is damaged. Because otherwise you can say it's somewhere in the brain, nobody is really going to get it. Right? So, like if I say CNS is somewhere in IISc, you are not going to be able to locate CNS. But if I say left foot this in front of that, you are going to be able to trace where you go. Right? So then, how do you classify different portions of the brain?
Spinal cord.
Those are specific brain structures. Anything simpler? Forebrain, midbrain, right? So this you have is the forebrain. If everybody can see, this is the forebrain. This is the midbrain. You can see it's basically structured like that, and this is the hindbrain. And this actually extends into the spinal cord. Okay. So next, you people were naming structures. Yeah.
Cortex.
Medulla oblongata. So the medulla oblongata is here, right? Yeah. So this is the medulla oblongata here. So this is connected through the pons to the midbrain area of the brain. Okay, and this is your cortical surface or the cortex.
Okay, we are in a... And there are two halves, right?
Yeah, there are two halves. So you can see the two halves.
The connection
here. What do you think? Do you really need to connect the two halves, or the two halves can function independently?
They can function independently, but you will have split personality.
Split personality is an extreme condition, but yeah, you would always want to coordinate the two sides of your brain. You already know that the two sides of the brain control the opposite sides of the body, right? So you would need coordination. You do not want your right hand to be doing something which your left hand does not really want to engage in. So that's where the corpus callosum comes in. It connects the two halves of the brain and communicates information from one side to the other. Okay. Then how old is that brain? How old is that brain? This is an adult brain. I cannot really tell you the age because with age the brain structure really does not change. So once you are an adult, the brain structure is more.
Is it male or female?
That also is there actually overall.
Are you interested more?
No signs or fold differences in.
I don't mind it if it's Marilyn Monroe.
But yes, so males and females have some circuit differences how they perceive certain hormones or metabolic changes in the brain, and that is more of a microstructure change than an overall global structure change. Okay.